You're listening to Satellite Sisters.
What's a satellite sister?
The person you call when the best thing in your life happens or the worst.
The person that gets you up, gets you going, and gets you through.
And every once in a while, changes your mind.
This podcast is part pep talk, part weekly check-in.
Like grabbing coffee with a friend.
Thanks for being here. Welcome to the Satellite Sisterhood.
You're listening to Satellite Sisters. We're happy to be here today. I'm Leanne Dolan. I'm a writer and a producer. I live in Pasadena, California. But today, I am the mother of a 28-year-old. That's right. Happy birthday. Yeah, happy birthday to my oldest son, Brooks. He's 28 years old. That's a grown man, people. He's out of my hands now, right? Liz, what are you up to today?
We're home. We're going to tell you all about our trip. So I'm just sort of reorganizing. We took 2 weeks off, which is, it just seems like such a long time. So just very happy to be back. How about you, Julie?
Me too, Liz. This is Julie Dolan in Dallas, Texas. And I miss the Satellite Sisters, so I'm glad to be back talking to you all. Of course, I just saw you this weekend, and we're going to talk about that too.
That's right. We're alluding, of course, to our family reunion. We had a family reunion in Texas. Julie is going to kick us off. We're going to tell you all about it because it was a fantastic time. But we also have a couple of other stories we're going to cover this week. First of all, Julie, you have a funny story about how Uber ratings are just out of control now. Correct?
Right. Everyone is a 5 out of 5, Leanne. Okay. You're afraid to give anyone a low rating now. Or I know I am. Okay. And we're going to talk about it.
Liz, you're going to just do a quick recap of some of the news stories we missed over the last 2 weeks, right?
Including this one, Leanne. Elizabeth Holmes went to jail, and I feel a little bad about it. So how about that?
Yeah. Darn it. Darn it, Liz. They got to you. And we have some entertaining sisters recommendations, including, Liz, I want to hear what you thought about the movie You Hurt My Feelings, because I can't wait to see that with Julia Louis-Dreyfus from Nicole Hollis Center. But first, the whole Dolan family and, kids and grandkids and girlfriends and boyfriends, they managed to get themselves to Austin, Texas for a family reunion this weekend. There were 40 people, 40 very happy people that left. Julie, you and your husband and Trem, you were the organizers, the instigators, the hosts, our spiritual, emotional leaders. You did an amazing job. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for getting us all organized. But let's just talk about the fun we had. Why did you decide to do this, Jill?
Well,
why?
Leanne, I started to think about the family reunion during COVID, mainly because I missed getting together with all the brothers and sisters. Okay. And COVID just made you think you just can't count on it, right? That you're always going to be able to do that. Or I also started to think about, families get together for Thanksgiving or they get together for weddings, but now weddings are all different. So you can't count on being invited to a wedding, right?
That's true. Yeah.
People elope, they do small weddings, whatever. And I certainly didn't want to wait until a funeral. So it had really been on my mind that I wanted to host a family reunion. Now, this is not a new idea in the Dolan family. It started Dick Dolan, our older brother. He did a big family stampede roundup nearly 20 years ago. And Liz, you and Dick also had a roundup. How many years ago was that?
That was 5 years ago, I think. Wasn't that
5
years ago?
Yeah. And 2017.
2017. And then, Leanne, you are always hosting Thanksgiving, engagement parties, birthday parties, whatever it is. We do have a spirit in our family of being generous with each other and really working to get together. So this had been in my mind. I was working on it, and I visited a small inn just south of Austin, Texas, the Sage Hill Inn. And I just thought this would be a perfect place for our family. But I didn't really know how to host a reunion. So I turned to one of my satellite sisters, and I want to give Cammie, my friend, a $5 Satellite Sisters shout out because she had organized a giant reunion. Okay. So I consulted with her. I took a meeting with her. I had notes, and she gave me a million ideas about what you could do at a family reunion, things that worked, how to make sure that there was fun for all ages, because we had people, our youngest was 5 and our oldest was, they were north of 70. I'll just
Yes.
put that, right?
just north, but yes, yeah.
Just north of 70. So I wanted to make sure, and Cammie had said, oh, you just definitely want to have games and you want to have maybe sack races or movie night. And then she said, well, you should also have arts and crafts. And I was like, arts and crafts. I was like, that's not a Dolan strong. No, right.
No.
But I thought we came up with a balance of things to do.
We totally did, Julie. You did.
Right? We had a craft-like activity, which was the icebreaker, okay? It didn't require a lot of skills, but what I did is I paired everyone in the family together, and I assigned them. And we have a family tradition at Thanksgiving of making our own sort of cute, funny place cards for the table. And so I bought a lot of pens and I gave the assignment to each of you, right, Liz?
Yes.
Everybody.
Yes.
You had to go up to who I had paired you with and ask them their favorite color and their favorite flower or animal. I left that as an option. And then you had to sit down and decorate their place card, and they had to decorate your place card.
Mm-hmm.
Which is great. It was adorable. Plus, the fun thing about that is really the 5, 7, and 8-year-olds had the strongest game, really, in the drawing animals and flowers. So they were way out ahead and like they love colors. I mean, it was so cute, Julie. It was fun to connect with people right away on Friday night. And then you use the place cards all weekend, which is also great to have. So people aren't just wandering around in all the group meals. You had said place cards. Fantastic.
No, I did outsource part of the assignment to one of the little kids because
You did? I didn't know that.
Well, yes. Well, I was interviewing our niece Fiona's boyfriend, and his favorite animal is a giraffe. And I thought, well, youngins know how to draw a giraffe better than I do. So I'm happy to do it for me. So I got a very unique giraffe on Bradley's name card.
Okay, that's good. There was a lot of sharing of talents. I would have to say everyone came with full hearts.
Mm-hmm.
They brought headbands and T-shirts because we were going to have pickleball paddles because we were going to have a pickleball tournament. They brought framed pictures of family pictures so that we could decorate the inn. And then everybody stepped up. Leon, your son Brooks, the birthday boy, he took all the family pictures. Leo Dolan, one of our nephews and a recording artist from LA, I'm happy to say, he did a whole concert for us on the porch after dinner on Friday night. My son Nick was the games master. He led the group in headbands, which may be the greatest game ever to see.
It's fun for all ages.
All ages. That's the classic all age game.
Okay. And we had a very, very competitive round of Trivial Pursuit. Leon, your son Colin, like he had done for Satellite Sisters, created a mocktail and a cocktail and did a mocktail cocktail demonstration. You created a playlist. Liz, we had a sporting event. So, of course, we needed an MC for a sporting event. And who better than Liz Dolan to MC a sporting event and give out all the awards and prizes at lunch? Sister Sheila came through with a rap at the end on Saturday night. And I have to say, my husband did just an absolutely fantastic job on a slow show because he is the family photographer for all these years. And he went into the vault and he found pictures of people that nobody had seen, right?
Oh, that was great. I mean,
nobody had seen
people watched that slideshow for 3 straight days. Like we couldn't get enough of it because, as we said, the photos went by a little too fast. So we had to keep watching the slideshow to see who was in these pictures. It was great.
Yeah. So, it was wonderful. We had 7 out of the 8 Dolan children were there. Our oldest brother, Jim, and his family were not able to come because of the scheduling conflicts, but which, at first, we were really disappointed that we couldn't make the dates work. And then I was thinking, well, it would really be nice to have more family here. And guess what? Guess what, sisters? We're from a big family, right? So I put my thinking cap on, because we had some extra rooms. And I was like, we need more family. And we happen to have cousins. This is our mother's twin sister, Eleanor, her children. There are 9 morning stars. And I was a little hestant because they were clearly, the B list. This was going to be a Dolan family reunion, right? We were all the way around. I thought, and I didn't want to insult them, but I really did want to extend the invitation to them. I sent out an invitation, and 30 minutes later, the entire group had signed up.
They're always game. They're always game.
They're always game.
We love them. We love them.
They're always game. That's what I mean. People came with full hearts. And the other thing that just made me laugh is because this was a Dolan Morningstar reunion. Everyone was on time to everything. Okay.
It's true.
We started breakfast on Saturday at 8:00. At 7:55, there were 35 people standing outside the breakfast.
And people had flown in they were from to Austin. So there were time zone issues, but it didn't stop them. They were still there. Like people were 2 or 3 hours behind, but it didn't matter. They were showing up. They were showing up right on time. That's funny, Julie. It's true. Every single thing, like 9 a.m. start for pickleball, everyone was there. 5 p.m. start for cocktails, everyone was there.
We were just not late. So that was never a problem.
Julie, tell us people a little bit about the setting, the sense of place, because you and Trem picked the inn that we were at. It's in the Texas Hill Country, and it just was very special.
Well, we love Texas and we love living in Texas. And Trem and I had visited this inn during COVID. And this is the Sage Hill Inn is on 88 acres just south of Austin, about depending on traffic, maybe 30 or 40 minutes south of Austin. And so it's 88 acres. It's small. It doesn't have a big hotel or anything like that. Beautiful organic gardens, vegetable gardens. There are chickens there, a beautiful pool. And then the owner of the inn is a giant pickleball fan. So he built these, I would call them championship style.
They were nice.
It's a
Fresh.
championship facility for sure.
Yes.
With lights, and there's a pavilion there. And it just gave us all to have the whole place to ourselves was really, really special. And I think it made everyone feel special and feel like this was our reunion. There were no other guests there but us. And so that was great. And I think for many people, because it was their first trip to Texas, or maybe their first trip to the hill country of Texas, to see the beauty of the wildflowers, the big live oak trees, the gorgeous plants that were all around. Mm-hmm. I think it made it a very sort of relaxed and beautiful setting.
Except for the snake warnings. There were some.
Well, okay, it's Texas. Warnings. We have snakes. Okay. And where at one point when Leon's son was trying to take a family picture and told everyone to run around in a field of high grass, I screamed. I was like, no, there are snakes in Texas. So, but that's the other good thing. Nobody got hurt in pickleball. Nobody got sick. Everybody came and left in one piece. And that's a great relief as well.
Yes.
Well, I thought the place was so lovely, Julie, and it was special to be there alone. I think the highest compliment is we had been there all about 3 or 4 hours. And at the end of that day, everyone's like, I feel like I've been here a week. Like it was just really, really, it was relaxed, but organized, and the staff did an amazing job. So, and I hope we weren't too high demands. I don't think we were, but I think everyone was just happy to be
Leon,
there.
I saw you serving.
What's that?
I was saying, Leon, I know you were helping out serving birthday cake the first night. Yes. So no, I don't think you were a high demand guest at all.
Okay. I think we are low demand, but we are very loud. We, as a group, we are extremely loud.
Yes.
So you should be grateful that you were not at this place at the same time we were, because I can't imagine what it would have been like to be like in the dining room next to us.
Yeah, that would have been awful.
We were just enjoying each other's company quite a bit.
Yeah, it was amazing place.
Yeah. But, no reunion or family gathering of any kind is complete without some sporting, some gaming. And as Julie mentioned, there was a pickleball concept at the heart of this reunion. Not just because she plays a lot of pickleball, but a lot of our cousins, people do seem to be honestly into pickleball from all over the country.
Yes, there were some ringers. Yes, that tier 2 invites, the Morning Stars. They brought some skills to the courts.
Yeah.
Skills, headbands, T-shirts, and paddles, Lance. They were ready to take prisoners on the court.
So because I'm sort of still on the injured reserve list, I was in charge of helping to run the tournament. And then, as Julie mentioned, the award ceremony following. And I just didn't really understand how intense everyone was going to be about it. Even the people who wanted to be in the losers bracket, right? So everybody's in the initial brackets. And then as people were losing, they're like, okay, where do the losers go? Who do I play next? I'm like, losers don't play anyone next. And they're like, yeah, we need a losers bracket. So boom, at the last minute, we have losers fighting losers. We have winners fighting winners. There were winners going out in the semifinals that then they wanted to get into. So I was like, no, there are no more brackets. You cannot play if you want. But the competition, we need a winning pair. We just need a winning pair. So the good thing about this sport, I can say, having just observed it, but not played it, is you had an instructor there, Julie.
She pickleball pro. Yeah.
A pickleball pro. She did 35 minutes of instruction, a little demo, and everyone pretty much got it, even the people that had never played before, right?
Oh, yeah, correct. Yes. And I did not take no for an answer. You needed a medical excuse not to play pickleball.
It's true. That was very clear in the lengthy instruction manual. Yes. Everyone is to show up at 9 a.m. and play pickleball. Yeah, good. That was good. That was the way to do it.
And so for the awards ceremony, I did have the little kids helping me as award presenters. And we had I'll just call it an interesting mix of prizes. We had prizes, Julie, that you'd gone out and bought, some pickleball socks, a funny pickleball mug. There were a few things like that. There were a lot of glow sticks and things, but then there were also quite a few things that were clearly, and you confessed, that they're all just leftover stuff from a FabFitFun box of the past. So,
go into your gift closet at your house, and I put that all in the pickleball prize bag. Yes.
Okay, so we're a competitive crew, but people had a lot of fun. So pickleball was fun. Next, when we're just
Liz, please, you didn't mention that I was the winner of the losers. So thank you.
Okay.
And you better mention our brother Dick, because
we partnered with Dick. We were the winners of the losers.
Okay, who were the winners of the winners? I don't even remember.
Martha.
That was Martha and your husband?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
Cousin
ringers.
Martha. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes.
Again, ringers, just total ringers. Yep.
Okay, so that was the pickleball. Then even during the so-called relaxation time of the day, this place had a beautiful pool under an oak tree, which I recommend, unless you have to clean the pool. Having a beautiful oak tree hanging out over your pool looks delightful and provides a lot of shade. But even there, as we're just sort of hanging out, swimming competitions just broke out. There was an underwater swimming competition. Who could swim the length of the pool and back underwater? And then next thing we knew, we brought back the Dolan sisters relay medley. That is just I did the opening leg back where I used to be when we competed on summer swim teams. I was the opening backstroke leg. Leon, you were breaststroke.
Beth Morning Star, again, ringer with the butterfly. And then
Sheila.
Yeah.
Sheila bringing it on home. So we had
with the freestyle.
That was not on the agenda.
No,
that just
spontaneous.
That was not on the agenda at all. But it just broke out. I think you do a lot of planning, and then the family reunion took a life of its own.
Yes. Yes. And then the Saturday night, we were all sitting outside enjoying ourselves. There were s'mores being cooked. We were on the rocking chairs. And all of a sudden, like the craziest Texas storm blew in with thunder, lightning, rain. So everybody all of a sudden ran inside. And the inn had a little library. And in that library, your son Nick had invested in a Trivial Pursuit game. But here's the key, people. Make a note of this. Nick bought the 1981 edition of Trivial Pursuit, which gave a huge advantage to the baby boomers. Just huge. I cannot overestimate how much stuff we knew that there was no chance anyone else in the group. I mean, those millennials, Gen Z, they really had no shot at some of these questions. like who lost the first Super Bowl? We lived through that. People knew. Of course, that was Kansas City. Everybody knew that over a certain age. There were a lot of questions and answers that involved a place called the Soviet Union. These people did not know that. Leon, I feel like your team went on a run where France was the right answer to a whole bunch of questions.
A lot of questions about France, France. I mean, we had a small team, but a small, effective team. It was me and then my son and my nephew, Sam. And that was a strong team because we all had individual knowledge. Well, Sam knew everything. So that was helpful. Everything. He knew everything.
I mean, I'm just guessing. Sorry, France. I don't mean to insult you, but in a current edition of the game, France is not going to be figuring quite so prominently. And then, here we go. My team, we got a question about what was the movie that Lee Marvin won his Oscar for in 1960 or something. And on my team, our cousin-in-law, Kevin, knew that the correct answer was Cat Ballou. What are the chances? There's no millennial or Gen Z who would have been able to get that answer. So
even Colin, who's a real movie buff, he had the question. He turned to me. He said, "Look at this answer. No one's going to get it." And sure enough, Cat Ballou. He couldn't.
Kevin came through with the Cat Ballou. So that would be my top tip if you're organizing a family reunion. Get yourself an 81 edition of Trivial Pursuit because it does give you the leg up you're going to need against the younger people with fresher brains. That is all.
Yeah, it was really, that was all fun. Liz, I just think you undervalued that tremendous lightning storm though. I mean, we could not have planned that better because that was sort of the Saturday evening kickoff or finale. And it was like Julie had planned this right on time. Photos had been taken, it was people were just sitting out. It was like having our own personal fireworks show ahead of us. And even people from Texas said, wow, that was a huge storm last night because it had it all. It was like lightning and we watched it come closer and then the wind picked up and then the rain started. And that's when a lot of us fled into the library for the Trivial Pursuit. But it was like the perfect way to finish it off. Julie, you did an amazing job in the beginning on Friday night. You gave a beautiful toast, as you always do. That's something that you're so good at, and thanked everyone for being there. But you talked about the legacy of, getting together as a family and how important that is. It's definitely something that we learned from our parents. Our mom was one of 4 sisters and our dad was close to his family. And we did make these regular trips to get together, however inconvenient or however many children were involved, we still managed to do it. And that just really spoke to me because I looked at my boys, 28, 25, they were there with their cousins that they don't get to see all the time. And I just hope that they do this. I mean, they were as excited as anyone to be at that family reunion. I wasn't dragging anyone to the family reunion. Everyone wanted to go because they remembered the ones in Oregon and they liked the cousins. And even if they live all over the country, they've really gotten to know people through these reunions. So I'm grateful for that. I think you did an amazing job in sort of carrying that on.
It's so worth it. It's so worth it and so satisfying to have 3 generations together, to have my grandchildren make sure that they know who the Morning Stars are, that they have, that they they get to spend time with their cousins and just in fun games. I mean, it was incredibly satisfying to see all the different interactions that were going on during the weekend. And, and I mean, that's where you should spend your time and effort is, putting good out there, creating these connections and creating a legacy for your family, however you define it. We had some wonderful boyfriends and girlfriends that had attended. I told them on Friday night, like, good luck, do your best, try to keep up. It's going to be very loud, and they were great.
They did.
They just
Tremendous
rolled with it.
sports.
And they were, and it was great to have, it was great to have people that had a lot of enthusiasm. There were full hearts there. Everybody just was so happy to be together. And that was great. And I think a weekend worked perfectly for our family. I know some family reunions are longer, but I think this was, ended on a high note with this spectacular storm. We had a little yoga on Sunday morning, some breakfast, and people went on their way.
Well, it was a beautiful, beautiful family reunion. Thanks to you and your husband for, being the instigators and being the hosts and giving us all a reason to get together. Amazing. Thank you, Julie.
And there was a lot of miles traveled in minivans, people stuffed into the same cars, just like when we were children.
It was great. It was great. Julie, we just spent a whole segment talking about how special it is to sort of have a family legacy, to stay connected, to keep telling those stories. That's why it's perfect that Storyworth is a sponsor of today's show, because it would make a great Father's Day gift, wouldn't it, if people want to preserve that legacy?
I mean, Leanne, we heard so many wonderful, funny stories, and how great to give the gift of Storyworth so your family can, record and keep these memories alive for the next generation.
Storyworth is an online service that helps you and your loved ones preserve precious memories and stories for years to come. It's a really thoughtful and meaningful gift that connects you to those who matter. Each week, Storyworth will mail your loved one a thought-provoking question of your choice from their vast pool of options. There are questions you may never had a chance to talk about, like, what's the bravest thing you've ever done in your life? Or if you could see into the future, what would you want to find? Those are thought-provoking questions, but also just fun questions that will, bring up those family fave stories that you love to tell year after year. And after 1 year, Storyworth will compile your loved one's stories, including photos, into a beautiful keepsake book that you'll be able to share and revisit for generations to come, and bring to some family reunions.
That would be a great item to bring to family reunions, no doubt.
Okay. All right. Well, this is it. This is Father's Day this weekend, that we know if you have a dad or a stepfather or a father figure in your life that you want to honor, Storyworth is a great way to do it. Give all the dads in your life a unique, meaningful gift you'll cherish for years. Storyworth. Right now, for a limited time, you'll save $10 on your first purchase when you go to storyworth.com/satellite. That's storyworth.com/satellite. And Storyworth is STORYWORTH. Storyworth.com/satellite to save $10 on your first purchase. Stay connected. Keep those stories going generation to generation. Storyworth.com/satellite. Let's talk travel. No matter what your plans are this summer, Rothy's flats, sneakers, and sandals are the move for when you need comfortable and cute shoes. They're easy to pair with all your outfits from weekend to weekday, wherever you're headed. And the Satellite Sisters love the range of colors, from neutrals that will match everything to brights that add a pop. Julie, we were traveling this weekend. We had some Rothy's at the family reunion, didn't
Absolutely.
we?
Did you see how cute Sister Monica looked in her, I think those were eggplant sneaker Rothy's that she was wearing? Cool, comfortable, smart. He looked pretty stylish to me.
Yeah. Slides for the beach, flats for nights out, comfy sneakers for exploring. And don't forget, they have a great lightweight tote that is a must-have bag. Perfectly sized to keep up with all your adventures. Get your Rothy's in your travel bags. We love Rothy's. They're comfortable. You can wash them. They're durable. I've been wearing mine for years, and style. I mean, I had my little Rothy's think they call it a fanny. Well, I call it a fanny pack, but I got many, many compliments
I
on that
saw
fanny
that
pack this
yes.
weekend. I wore it everywhere. I wore it
know.
everywhere. Perfect for what I needed: lip balm and my camera. That's what I needed on vacay. So this time at Rothy's, for stylish and comfortable shoes and bags, Satellite Sisters listeners can get $20 off their first purchase. That's right. Shop Rothy's. Get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/sisters. And Rothy's is ROTHYS.com/sisters. Rothys.com/sisters. Rothy's, thank you so much for your support of our show for the last 5 years. We appreciate you, and we appreciate all the Satellite Sisters that have found Rothy's and discovered it because of our show. Thanks, Rothy's.
We are back, and I wanted to do a little ICYMI. That's right, people. In case you missed it, this is just major news that happened while we were off. I decided to pick 3 top stories. Number 1, Elizabeth Holmes went to jail, and I kind of feel bad about it. So let me explain. So Elizabeth Holmes, she's 39 years old. She's now entered federal prison camp Bryan, which is a minimum security all-female prison in Bryan, Texas. She's now had 2 kids. She turned herself into authorities on the 30th of May. As you recall, I'm sure everyone remembers, she was convicted on 4 counts of fraud, and her medical startup had really duped investors out of millions and millions of dollars. So point 1, she was definitely guilty. Point 2, she definitely deserved to be punished. Point 3, do we really believe that Elizabeth Holmes is the only one in Silicon Valley who was like fraudulently taking money from investors over, say, the last 10, 20 years? No, I do not. No, I do not. It's like, do we believe that Martha Stewart is the only one who was engaging in insider trading? So I just have this thing in the back of my mind, like, yes, she did it, and yes, she deserved to be punished, but other people must be doing this, right?
What? Sort of like the Martha Stewart. They selected her in particular. Huh?
Yes, I don't know. I'm not sure it was a plot. Anyway. So she's in jail where she deserves to be. I just think there are lots of people that should also be other people that should also be in jail. Okay, story number 2: artificial intelligence, AI. I would say that in the last few months, AI went from something we were laughing about, that kids will use it to cheat at school, to something that's actually going to kill us all. And
I know, my gosh. What is happening? I can't face those stories, Liz.
All of a sudden, all these people that know a lot about it, which of course does not include us, all the people that know a lot about it are saying things like this, quote, "We are now seeking to create machines that are vastly more intelligent and powerful than ourselves. The potential for such machines to apply this intelligence and power, whether deliberately or not, and in ways that could harm or subjugate humans, is real and has to be considered." Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm just saying AI is not fun anymore. There's not fun.
I'm glad we got the family reunion in before we were killed by AI.
I mean, killer robots, just for starters, killer robots, that just seems science fiction-y, but I guess not. Anyway, so AI, just all the fun has gone out of AI. That's
in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
yes,
correct. On vacation, all the fun went out. And then for number 3, I thought, well, I should either talk about the debt ceiling agreement or the fact that Kim Cattrall has agreed to make a cameo in the new Sex and the City. So I'm going with the latter, Kim Cattrall. Okay. So last week we found out that Kim Cattrall, who, famously does not speak to her co-star and producer, Sarah Jessica Parker, or the showrunner, Michael Patrick King. She refused to be in the, what did they call this thing that came back? It's the name
And So It Goes or something?
No, just like that.
And just like
she refused to be in the 3rd movie, so she was not invited to be in the 1st season of And Just Like That. But she apparently secretly agreed to be in a single scene in the season 2 finale. So, and it was shot, she was all by herself in a parking garage somewhere, interacting with no other members of the cast allegedly. Anyway, I thought that was major news that you would want to know. The first two episodes of And Just Like That, they drop on June 22nd. That is everything we know. So there you go. The top 3 stories you might have missed while we were off.
Excellent report, Liz.
All right. I have two Yellowstone stories. First of all, I finally watched Yellowstone. I watched the first 2 episodes on the plane. That's the best place to watch any epic film that's supposed to have great cinematography is on a tiny plane screen, I find, through earphones. All right. I know everybody else watched this during the pandemic, but I did not. Could not get my husband engaged in this. But finally, I'm like, it's Kevin Costner. I'm watching that darn show. It's about Montana. It's about oil. It's about ranching. It's about real estate development. Still could not get my husband interested. So I watched it. I had heard it was a little violent. Boy, is it violent. Wow. I didn't know there were that many ways to kill people in the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, it sort of levels out as it goes forward.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Julie, because I was like, is this legal in Montana? Just killing people? I don't really understand. So I was doing that thing where I had to put my hands over the screen on the plane because I didn't want young kids seeing what was happening. Anyway, Yellowstone, I'm on it. Am I going to carry on? Of course, because Kevin Costner. Okay, second, the actual Yellowstone. Okay, this week, the Yellowstone Rangers had to issue an urgent call for visitors to protect wildlife and respect the safety regulations because of some of the idiotic things that tourists have done with actual wild animals. I'm sure there's a YouTube channel on idiots at Yellowstone. I hope there is. But these are people trying to pet bison and nearly being gored. How about this? They had to euthanize a bison calf after a visitor from Hawaii picked up the animal, picked up the little bison calf, and that meant the herd rejected it. Oh, thanks a lot, visitor from Hawaii. That's great. There was another woman taking a selfie near a resting bison, almost got gored. So that's wow.
Oh,
just this week alone, there were some visitors who thought a little baby elk looked kind of sick. So they put it in their car and they took it to a vet.
uh-oh.
What? Instead of what is wrong with people? Anyway, if you're going to Yellowstone, they're now finding people pretty seriously. If they find you closer than 25 yards from all wildlife and at least 100 yards from bears and wolves, people. Yes, stay.
I know. I mean, you see the guy that's like trying to scare bears? That's his thing at Yellowstone.
Seriously?
Yeah. Like he jumps in front of them and like screams and put his arms up. Oh yeah, there's a video on him too. Yeah, they should give him a ticket.
Okay. All right. I feel like they need the real Kevin Costner to head over to the real Yellowstone and get something going there. He seems to be in charge of everything in that part of the world.
People, you think?
Just rounding them up, taking them to the train station. Right?
Yeah, I know. Anyway, there you go. Please do not pet the animals. Please.
Okay. Well, my news story that I was thinking about, and I think it's particularly relevant because there is a lot of summer travel, Airbnb. There was a story in the Wall Street Journal that was entitled, "Why is Everyone a 5 out of 5?" You know what I'm talking about. You get in that Uber car and you have to rate your driver. And people don't want to give bad ratings now because if you give your driver a bad rating, that person is going to turn around and give you a bad rating, right? I mean, or if you're staying at an Airbnb, okay, even if it's a dump, you don't want to indicate people they have confusion about this. They feel guilty that they don't want to be mean to the drivers or to the hosts of the Airbnb. And so they just give them a 5. So now even if you see a 5 rating for a driver or a Airbnb place, you have no idea whether that's really true. Right?
It's true.
It does defeat the whole purpose, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it used to be important, but now if you have anything lower than like 4.7, I mean, then, that's like a disaster, right?
Does that really mean the drivers are not going to come pick you up? They're going to know that about you and just
yes, they know your rating. Yes, Liz, they know your rating. Don't you know that? And you better not slam that door, Liz, because they'll knock you down. Don't leave a mess in the back seat, Liz. Okay.
I will confess, like I stayed in an Airbnb last October in Connecticut, and the Airbnb was really good, except it had super cheap like a really cheap wine opener and like really cheap knives. And I did not put that in the review. I did DM the owner. I'm like, hey, like, for God's sakes, get a decent wine opener and get some decent knives in this place. So,
That's the way to do it. Yes.
yeah, I felt like I wanted to get that out, but I didn't want to be like one of those people that complained on the main site. You're right, Julie. It messes
You don't
with
want to
your
give bad
psychology.
ratings.
Yeah.
Liz, do you give bad ratings for Uber drivers?
No, well, I haven't taken Uber in a while, but over Christmas when I was on vacation in Hawaii, it was VRBO. And I did the same thing that Leanne just said. I knew that we were the first guests in this unit. So the owner had been very direct with me. There might be some things that aren't quite right yet. Please just let me know what they are. So I certainly didn't put that in the review because I knew what I was getting myself into. We got like a 20% discount because we were the first guests in the unit. So I gave him a super positive review because it was a great place. But then separately, I sent him an email saying, here are the things that are not quite done or that you could fix. We did love it. But as long as you asked, here's my list. And he was very grateful for that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know it is. You're right. But sometimes it's when what's the point, really?
Of giving a bad rating? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, why be mean? Why? I mean,
Right.
they're working hard. They're trying to just make a living. They're not. I mean, I see that. So why?
I mean, if I feel like if someone was drunk or high or dangerous or mean, yes, I would report that. But if, I don't know. If you just don't like their music, it's not that important.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well,
Yes, it is.
I did report someone once for like running a red light. I thought that was legit. But that was just a Santa Monica taxi. That was a long time ago.
Okay.
Julie, spring is the season of renewal, and it's also the season of serum. Wouldn't you agree, Jewel?
Serum, I think it's one of the most powerful words in the universe, Leanne. Okay. You just, we all need serum, Leanne. Okay. We need it. Okay. We need it on our faces. We need it around our eyes in particular, Leanne.
That's right. Osea's Ocean Eyes Serum is a great place to start if you are looking to refresh your skincare routine this spring. It has a couple of keywords in it: ocean, eyes, and serum. And those are all really important words because don't you want to look more refreshed? Don't you want to look bright, wide awake? Don't you want your eyes open in photos and things like that? Fantastic.
I know there are going to be a lot of photos in the spring. You don't want puffy eyes. You don't want that crackly look under your eyes. You want refreshed, Leanne. You want to be smooth. You want it to look good. Yes.
Well, that's why this Ocean Eyes Serum, Jewel, it's like a shot of espresso for your eyes, okay? First of all, it's a roller ball. Check. Fantastic. And it's cooling. So you imagine you roll it around your eyes and it refreshes and awakens the entire eye area. And Ocean Eyes Serum is clinically proven to brighten the look of eyes, reduce the look of crow's feet and under eye bags, diminish puffiness and dark circles, and smooth the look of fine lines. It uses those super high performance ingredients that we love about Osea products, like hyaluronic acid, peptides, and of course their famous Undaria seaweed.
Which I know it has that lovely fresh scent, Leanne, which makes it just perfect.
Osea has been making seaweed-infused products that are safe for your skin and the planet for over 27 years. It's family-owned. I love it. It's a mother-daughter sort of situation over there at Osea, which is great. All their products are clean, vegan, cruelty-free, climate-neutral, powered by seaweed, and conceived in California. So you never have to choose between your values and your best skin. You only have to choose the serum. So here's what you do. Spring into your most radiant skin yet with clean, vegan skincare and body care from Osea. And get 10% off your first order site-wide with the code SATSisters at OseaMalibu.com. You'll get free samples with every order and free shipping on orders over $60. Head to Osea Malibu, and Osea is O-S-E-A, OseaMalibu.com, and use code SATSisters for 10% off. Thanks, Osea. Satellite Sisters would like to thank Calm for their support of our podcast. Are you feeling stressed and overwhelmed? Are you looking for a sanctuary of serenity? How about a sanctuary serenity in the TSA line? Because that may be where you need the Calm app this summer. Liz, you have an actual breaking news story about this, don't you?
know, I was reading the paper yesterday. It was an article entitled Gear to Help You Endure Travel Delays, because there are going to be many this summer, people. And of the 5 things they recommended, one was be sure you have an app to help you breathe through it. And we are here to tell you Calm is the app that can do that for you.
Yeah, Calm recognizes that everyone faces unique challenges in their daily lives and that mental health needs differ from person to person and the time for meditation may vary. But you know when is a good time for meditation is? Any airport is a good time.
Exactly.
Because those meditations are really easy to follow. You don't have to be an expert. It's just breathing, taking you back a notch, relaxing you. It's, providing some stress-free environment in your head. And sometimes that's all you want. They also have sleep stories and relaxing music tracks and daily movement sessions. So there is a lot to love about the Calm app, but just the simple practice of breathing and meditation may help you all summer long. And this is great for Satellite Sisters listeners because Calm is offering 40% off a Calm premium subscription. And new content is added every week. So relax because Calm has everything you need for a happier, healthier you. If you want to get in on the Calm action, Satellite Sisters listeners, this is how you do it. It's an exclusive 40% offer off a Calm premium subscription at calm.com/satellite. And Calm is CALM. Calm.com/satellite for 40% off unlimited access to Calm's entire library. That's calm.com/satellite. Everything you need for a happier, healthier you. Liz Lan and Julie back. We're the Satellite Sisters. Hey, that big fun weekend is still happening. Boy, thank you to everyone what is the correct grammar? We don't know. Who, that, they, everyone who has purchased tickets. A big thanks to you. We have sold a lot of tickets, so we are going to have a big fun crowd, which is amazing. We can't wait to see you in Minneapolis, October 13th, 14th, and 15th. Tickets are still available for, our big fun weekend. It's a meetup with your Satellite Sisters. There's a Friday night cocktail party. And I just want to say, Julie has already pitched some icebreaker ideas to us. Liz, I was a little skeptical until I saw her incredible work this weekend at the family reunion.
Yeah.
I mean, Julie, just keep those icebreakers coming.
Okay. I feel like now that with the family reunion is done, I'm on to the Satellite Sister family reunion at the big fun weekend. I mean, you are our family. We want you there, and we're going to have a lot of fun together. No pickleball.
No pickleball, but we will have a live podcast. We will have dance. I mean, we have hired an awesome DJ for Saturday night for the Mamma Mia dance party. I know people are getting their outfits together. Liz, I mean, I think you did such a spectacular job emceeing the family pickleball tournament and making up those prizes. We're definitely going to enlist you to MC the costume judging. That's going to be great.
All right.
No losers. No losers. Just 5 out of 5 for everybody. I'm just very excited. So I just want to let people know there are tickets still available. There are only a few more rooms available, like a limited number of rooms available at our special rate in our room block. So if you are thinking about coming, you might want to get on that, sooner rather than later. So you can secure those special rates at the Hilton in Minneapolis. But thank you. Super response to this. We're very excited. We are really looking forward to this. Maybe everyone should bring their own game of headbands. And so we can just have hundreds of headbands games happening over the weekend. That would be funny. All right. Also, I want to remind people I'm going to be on Martha's Vineyard next week. That's right. On June 15th, I'm going to be appearing at the West Tisbury Public Library on Martha's Vineyard with my friend. She's an artist, Elizabeth Green, and we're going to be talking about creating and cultivating in midlife. Cultivating creativity in midlife is what the presentation's called. I'm working on a PowerPoint as we speak for it. We're so excited. There will be book sales and art sales, and come together if you happen to be on the vineyard, or if you're on the Cape and you feel like maybe I'll take that ferry over, or if maybe you're on Nantucket and you want to take the ferry over. So many ferries in that part of the world. Think about it. We will be there Thursday, June 15th at 4 p.m. We would love to see you. And if you're coming, just DM me. Let me know. It'd be good to have some idea who's coming. There'll be some refreshments. That's what.
So you're luring people in? I feel like at the family reunion, Leanne, we got a preview of your wardrobe for Martha's Vineyard. Like you were testing out some very nice summer outfits.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank
There
you.
was a lot of style going on there, Leanne.
Thank
Very
you.
stylish. Yes.
You know what? You're exactly right. I was doing that. I'm just packing the suitcase is going to be exactly the same. So for the event on Martha's Vineyard, and then my friends and I are just going to the Nantucket Book Festival. So let me know if you're going to be there. We'll be around too. So that next weekend.
That's
All right, Liz, entertaining sisters. What's happening? What's happening with you? How was the movie?
Okay, so I wanted to recommend a movie that was recommended in the Satellite Sisters Facebook group. Several of you posted that you really enjoyed the movie You Hurt My Feelings, which stars Julia Louis-Dreyfus. So, of course, you got to go. And was written and directed by Nicole Holofcener, whose movies I always enjoy. So this is Julia Louis-Dreyfus is a writer. Her husband, played by Tobias Menzies, who you may also know as Prince Philip in The Crown.
He was an Outlander, Liz.
Yes, he was.
Oh, really?
He was
Yes.
very nice.
It's
and
not
nice.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
not
He
nice.
plays the super cute husband who is a therapist. You know who's also in this? Stewie from Succession.
Oh, yeah.
The actor Arian Moaywed. Yeah, he's the brother-in-law in this. So I just enjoyed seeing Stewie because Succession had just ended. Anyway, so it's a movie about like what goes on inside, a marriage when people have expectations about the communication. In this case, Julia Louis-Dreyfus has a book that she has submitted to her agent. Her agent is not getting back to her. She's starting to feel terrible about herself. Her husband keeps telling her, no, it's great, it's great, it's great. But then she overhears him telling Stewie from Succession that he didn't like the book at all. And so I'm not spoiling anything because that's really in all the trailers.
Right.
So then it's really sort of an investigation of what do you say, what do you not say, how do you support someone in their work, how do you give them the pep talk they need versus saying, yeah, meh, 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 meh. And both Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Tobias Menzies have issues going on. It's not just hers. And also in the other marriage, you see that dynamic at work, and you see just a number of how two different couples sort of handle the difference between, okay, you really want me to tell you the truth or you don't. So
Right.
I
Right.
really, really liked it. I thought it was great. It's a very thoughtful, adult, it's like a thinking person's movie. Thank goodness. That's just so nice.
No, serious, Liz. though.
Yes.
I mean,
But
it's
no,
not,
no, Julie, it is serious. Yes, it's very serious. Like if you were going through a bad patch with your significant other, I would not go see this movie together. This is because this is more about plumbing the depths. And unless you're ready to plumb, I would give it a pass. But no, part of it is very, very funny. And, Julia Louis-Dreyfus is so great. And so I totally recommend it. But I would also say that having never been married, I do not know, is this too close to the bone for you actual married people or not? So
Well, I mean, I have to say, for me, when I saw the previews that it was a writer, it's gotten a lot of back channel communication in the writer community.
yeah.
I'm always surprised when people say, does your husband read your books beforehand? I get that question a lot. I'm like, no, why on earth would I let him read my books? I mean, there's first of all, there's the fact he doesn't read a lot of fiction. So
Yeah.
it's not like his opinion's not valid, but it's not going to be helpful in any way. And second is, it's not valid. I just don't really want to hear what he has to say about it. The only thing he can really say is, this was great. So I don't want the truth at all. So I'm very curious to see it. I have plans to go this weekend by myself to go see the movie.
Okay.
To go see the movie.
I think that's the play for you. As a
Yeah.
writer, yes, I think that's the play.
Yeah.
Julie, are you interested in this movie?
I don't know. I guess I'm on the fence about it. That's what I would say. I think lately I have been veering towards sort of easy viewing. This sounds like it's not easy viewing. So I would
Okay,
have.
I'm making it sound more serious than it is.
Okay.
I think
okay.
what you would like about it is that it's a lovely, true human story.
Okay.
Um,
All right, Liz.
you know,
That's
written and directed by a woman whose work I think is worth supporting, Nicole Holmes Center, starring a woman whose work is always worth supporting, Julia
Yes.
Louis-Dreyfus. So do not write it off. It is actually,
Okay.
it is, I enjoyed it a lot. I'll just leave it at that. So
Okay. All right. That's a good recommendation coming from you, Liz.
we can circle back. Then the flip side on Entertaining Sisters, got to say, TikTok this week is the finale for season 20 of Top Chef. So this is going to be very dramatic. They're in Paris for the finale. The 2 final episodes are in Paris. So I do not entirely agree with the last set of decisions the judges made
Okay.
about who's ending up in the finale. I'll just be honest about that. But I think it's going to be a great finale. I mean, it's Paris, it's food, it's beautiful. And what makes me kind of sad is that Padma Lakshmi, who has been the host for every year except the very first year, she announced that this is going to be her last season. So this
Wow.
means this
Wow.
finale will be Padma's last episode. And I think she has done a fantastic job hosting and shaping the show. She's been an executive producer for a long time. So just, I'm looking forward to it, but it makes me a little wistful that we won't have any more Padma.
No, that's amazing. I didn't realize that. She does an amazing job. I mean,
Yes.
remember that like season 2, she was on Satellite Sisters because Sheila loved that show so much.
Yes.
She was our guest many years ago, but she does do an amazing job shaping that show. And she has a great palate and always you're really on point things to say
Yes.
about the food.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
but you
Yes.
know what? She'll go on to do great things. I really admire her. I
I mean,
like
she
her a lot.
already has another show on
Yeah.
Hulu, which is all about food in the United States, which is really good. But, Top Chef is special. Anyway, so
I see it as an opening for you, Liz, cooking with Liz. I think you should throw your hat in the ring. Don't sell yourself short, sister.
okay.
Okay.
All right. I do
Wow.
want to remind people, though, in the Satellite Sisters Facebook group, we have been running the best out of context line contest throughout season 20, where you just type in whatever. They say crazy things to each other. So you just type that in. And then after the finale, so for next week's show, anyone who typed in anything, it's just a drawing. It's not a judgment. It'll just be a drawing. Somebody is going to win a Cooking with Liz apron. You're going to get either the Peace and Sauce apron or you're going to get a I'm an eyeballer apron. But anyway, you got to be in it to win it. It's in the Satellite Sisters Facebook group.
Fun. That's fun. All right. I want to make one recommendation. If you're wandering around now in the TV landscape thinking, what am I going to watch after Succession? Or you need something to ease the pain of the loss of Ted Lasso, I want to recommend Somebody Somewhere, which is on HBO. This show has been on for 2 years. There are 2 seasons of it. They're like 8 episodes each season. It is a thoughtful, funny, sweet show about grief and acceptance and family and faith. It's set in the Midwest. It has a really unexpected cast of people that you might not be familiar with who just come together and create just really gentle, loving, funny, thoughtful episodes. Bridget Everett is the star, and I was not familiar with her work prior to watching this show, Somebody Somewhere. But what's great is it's really like a career maker for her, and she's in her early 50s. Like she has been out there she is both a comedian and a cabaret singer. And she has been out there, touring and doing work and tiny parts in all kinds of movies for the last 20 years. And this is this giant breakout show for her. And she is so good at it as the main character who returns to her hometown of Manhattan, Kansas to care for her dying sister. And then when her sister dies, again, that's not a spoiler. That's the premise of the show. her whole life just falls apart. She has to kind of completely recalibrate who she is and what she is, and she has one remaining sister, and her father and mother have all kinds of issues, and she has a wonderful best friend. I just love this show, and it's sort of it's like Ted Lasso. You kind of laugh and cry every episode, and just there aren't that many shows that I watch that I think do a great job of incorporating faith into the script. This is one where there's a very believable exploration of faith, which I think is also really unusual. So you're going to meet a cast of characters. So just hang with it, because I just think it's a wonderful show. Somebody somewhere, and it was just renewed for season 3, and I'm super happy about that, because
That's great.
so shows like this they didn't make the splash of Ted Lasso or Succession, but it's out there and it's great. It's great. So Somebody Somewhere is my recommendation. All right. Anybody else? That's it. I think we're done. I think that's the show. I think that's the show. Ooh, we gotta take it.
Unless you'd like to do some Trivial Pursuit 1981 questions here at the end.
Well, I was surprised no one mentioned that. I did win the Trivial Pursuit.
Oh, I'm so yes. I'm sorry. I meant to mention that Leon's team, which you referred to as the one true team, because they started with 3 people and they ended with 3 people, whereas most of the other teams started with 3 people and ended like with 7 people. So the one true team did in fact win. That was Leon, Sam, and Colin.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd like to give almost full credit to Sam. He really bailed us out on a lot, anything that had to do with science or geography or military history. He really knew all.
He
that.
did.
So, but anyway, thank you, Liz. Thank you for acknowledging that. We'd also like to thank our engineer, Sergio Enriquez. Thank you, Sergio. And we want to wish you a very happy Father's Day, Sergio.
Yes. Happy
this weekend is Father's Day. And congratulations to Emily Loudermilk, our graphic designer, whose work you can see on our Instagram and in Pep Talk and all over the place. She's got married while we were on vacation, so that's fantastic. Way to go, Emily!
Way to go.
And our to-do today is just to wish all of the satellite misters in our community a very happy Father's Day. Whether you're dads or uncles or big brothers or mentors, coaches, teachers, or if you're just someone who has stepped in and stepped up to help raise kids in this country, we appreciate you. You're needed and you are appreciated. Thank you so much. Happy Father's Day to you.
Right. Have a great day on Sunday.
Yes. Have a great day.
All right, sisters, that's the show. You have a great week too, okay?
Okay. Thanks, Leah.
All right. Don't forget, call your satellite sister. Call your dad too.